according to our president, Epstein was, quote, a terrific guy and a lot of fun to be around. Trump said it was because Epstein liked women on the younger side. And Jeffrey Epstein loved him back. I was Donald Trump's closest friend. That's what he said. He let his closest friend fly on his private jet at least 8 times that we know of. We also know the spa at Mar-A-Lago sent teenage girls to Epstein's mansion for house calls. And we know, because Donald Trump confessed to us, that Epstein stole a 16-year-old girl from Mar-a-Lago and then trafficked her to a succession of perverted, disgusting old men who sexually abused her. Epstein wrote in an email, and I quote, "Trump knew of it and came to my house many times during that period," end of quote. Wow. Let that sink in. And it wasn't just Donald Trump. His Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, went to Epstein's Rape Island. His former top advisor, Elon Musk, tried to go to Rape Island. And his top confidant, Steve Bannon.
He took people, and because he took people, I said, don't do it anymore. They work for me. And he took, beyond that, he took some others. And once he did that, that was the end of him.
Were some of them young women?
Well, I don't want to say, but everyone knows the people that were taken. And it was the concept of taking people that work for me is bad. But that story's been pretty well out there. And the answer is yes, they were.
A tape in the NBC archives of a Mar-a-Lago party shows Trump giving Epstein his personal attention. The footage, shot in November of 1992, before Trump opened the resort as a club, shows the future president surrounded by cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins, capturing Trump's fun-loving bachelor lifestyle for an appearance on Faith Daniels' NBC talk show.
We're going to get great ratings in your show.
Trump is surrounded by women as music blares in the background. After a while, Trump goes to greet 3 new guests. Among them, the financier Jeffrey Epstein, more than a decade before his guilty plea on state prostitution charges. Later in the footage, Trump is seen talking to Epstein and another man as women are dancing in front of them. Trump alternates between dancing and pointing out women to Epstein and the other man and telling Epstein about the cameras. Though exactly what they say is difficult to understand as they discuss the women and their appearances, Trump gestures to one and appears to say to Epstein, "Look at her back there. She's hot." And then Trump says something else into Epstein's ear that makes him double over with laughter. But as the president says now, he never liked Epstein.
I was not a fan of his. That I can tell you. I was not a fan of his.
But on Mar-a-Lago, you're saying that Jeffrey Epstein coached 2 of your staffers. Who were they? Were they
I
young?
want to say 2, or I don't want to say it. You're talking about many years ago. But yeah, he took people. And because he took people, I said, don't do it anymore. They work for me. And he took, beyond that, he took some others. And once he did that, that was the end of him. I didn't like, when they steal people, I don't like it.
Epstein has a certain reputation, obviously. But just curious, were some of the workers that were taken from you, were some of them young women?
Some of them.
Were some of them young women?
Well, I don't want to say, but everyone knows the people that were taken. And it was the concept of taking people that work for me is bad. But that story's been pretty well out there. And the answer is yes, they were.
They were young women?
What did they do?
In the spa.
In the spa?
Yeah, people that work in the spa. I have a great spa, one of the best spas in the world at Mar-a-Lago. And people were taken out of the spa, hired by him. In other words, gone. And other people would come and complain, this guy is taking people from the spa. I didn't know that. And then when I heard about it, I told him, I said, listen, we don't want you taking our people, whether it was spa or not spa. I don't want him taking people. And he was fine. And then not too long after that, he did it again. And I said, out of here.
Mr. President, did one of those stolen, persons, that include Virginia Giuffre?
I don't know. I think she worked at the spa. I think so. I think that was one of the people. Yeah. He stole her. And by the way, she had no complaints about us, as you know, none whatsoever.
I was trafficked to a lot of types of different men. I was trafficked to other billionaires. I was trafficked to politicians, professors, even royalty. He used me as a form of blackmail. So, you know, these people would owe him favors. And I'd say, why is so-and-so coming? And he goes, because he owes me favor. It was the elite of the world. It was the people who run the world. It was the most powerful people in the world. And those are our leaders. Those are the people that we are supposed to look up to.
Newly surfaced records show 20 years ago, then private citizen Donald Trump called police in Palm Beach, Florida to say of Jeffrey Epstein, quote, "Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this." That call appears to contradict the president's claim just months ago he was unaware of Epstein's crime.
I know nothing about that. They would have announced that a long time ago.
President's Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said he cut ties with Epstein in 2005. But documents suggest they were in business together as recently as 2014. And before Congress Tuesday, Lutnick admitted he had lunch with Epstein in 2012 on the convicted sex offender's island.
My wife was with me, as were my 4 children and nannies. We were on family vacation. We were not apart. I don't recall why we did it.
You guys didn't release the files. You were forced by Congress, every member of the House except one, and the entire Senate. The reason the president signed it is because it was a veto-proof majority. We can't agree on anything, and yet the entire House but one member and the whole Senate forced the administration to release the files. Kash Patel under oath said Trump's name appears less than 100 times in the files. We now know that's not true. Trump's name appears more times in the Epstein files than God's name appears in the book about God. Okay, by the way, this is the Trump Bible. Move over, King James.